Tonight, live from the Democratic National Convention in Charlotte, North Carolina, we will hear from the brand new 2012 Democratic presidential nominee. Spoiler alert, it's Barack Obama. First Lady of the United States, Michelle Obama, sits down for an organic, locally grown chat. Vice President Joe Biden talks about being the coolest vice president since the original George Clinton. And stick around after the president's speech to hear from Caroline Kennedy, Wisconsin's own Tammy Baldwin, and San Antonio Mayor and convention keynote speaker Julian Castro. It all starts right now. Good evening and welcome to the 2012 Democratic National Convention here in Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm Kal Penn and we are coming to you live from the Time Warner Arena where, look, we don't have fireworks, but we do have a much lower chance of getting struck by lightning. So before we get started, I want to give a huge shout out to everyone tuning in tonight from campaign offices and living rooms across the country and especially right here in North Carolina. You guys put the watch and the party in Watch Party, which is probably why it's called that. And greetings to those of you watching this at home the way it was meant to be seen, which of course is on a laptop in your dorm room while probably simultaneously tweeting snarky comments about what I'm wearing, at Kal Penn, hashtag sweet tie. It's an honor to be in the little tiny box in the bottom right corner of your screen, so thank you for joining us on this very historic night as we get ready to watch Barack Obama accept his second nomination for President of the United States. It's been a long, hard road since that cold February day in Springfield, Illinois, back in 2007 when he first announced his candidacy. I've definitely come a long way since my first convention. Back in 2008, my job was actually passing out flyers to the Illinois delegation there on the floor. So that was kind of fun. Oh, great. You guys have a picture that I see being loaded. Thank you to my crew. I'm glad you've made it so that America can see me in that yellow vest. Thank you very much. Awkward. Look, but it's all been worth it to watch our country change for the better, right? Today, the war in Iraq is over. Millions of our friends, our neighbors, and our family members have health insurance for the first time. Don't ask, don't tell is history. We have a president who supports marriage equality and knows that politicians really have no place making women's health decisions for them. But there's still a lot left to do. So get excited, because in 61 days, we have a chance to make history all over again, and it starts right here tonight. Over the next hour, we'll have guests like Elizabeth Banks, Olivia Wilde, and Zach Braff here to help us kick things off in sort of a fun way. And we'll show you all the speeches on the convention floor, which, in case you haven't noticed, is right here behind me. And then we'll be back after the president's speech for a post-game wrap-up. But first, here's a look at the president's trip from D.C. to Charlotte.
Oh, it is good to be back in Iowa. Iowa, this is our first stop on the road to our convention in Charlotte, North Carolina.
The president addressed an estimated 10,000 people.
President Obama spoke to 13,000 college students.
The largest crowd in the state this year.
His message, get out and vote.
Soon you'll get a chance to choose a path that will actually lead to a better future. America has to lead once again when it comes to educating our kids and training our workers for the jobs of tomorrow.
Teachers.
You're teachers.
Yes,
We love teachers.
I'm a teacher. I teach them ESL.
We created a tax credit for middle-class families trying to send their kids to college, up to $10,000 over 4 years in college tuition.
I want to go to law school.
Let's help more young people and some not so young people go to community colleges and get trained in the skills that employers are looking for right now. It's up to you whether we keep moving forward with the new health care law that's already cutting costs and covering more people. Because of this law, nearly 7 million young people are able to stay on their parents' plans. Your grandparents are saving money on their medicine. Women have gained access to preventive care. You get to decide the future of this war in Afghanistan. By the end of this month, we will have brought 33,000 of our troops home. I said we'd go after Al-Qaeda. We did. I said we'd take out bin Laden. We did. Getting our troops out of Iraq was the right thing to do. Bringing our troops home from Afghanistan in a responsible way is the right thing to do. And as long as I'm Commander-in-Chief, we will serve our veterans as well as they've served us. That's a promise we will keep. You can choose which path we take. I'm counting on you. We've got more good jobs to create. We've got more energy to generate. We've got more young people to send to college. We've got more good teachers to hire. And we've got more good schools to build. We've got more troops we've got to bring home. We've got more veterans we got to take care of. We've got more doors of opportunity to open to every single American who's willing to work hard and work through them. We've come too far to turn back now. And if you're willing to stand with me, if you're willing to vote for me, we will win Iowa again. And we will win Colorado. We will win Ohio. We'll win Virginia again. We'll win this election. We will finish what we started. It's up to you.
This arena is filling up, if not already full, and I'm joined by two very talented and very funny actors, Zach Braff and Alexis Bledel. Now, I'm assuming that people at home are going totally bananas right now, so we should probably give them a minute to settle down. Just take a second, just breathe, just settle down. All right, that's enough. Stop it. Now, something that I think is true. Welcome, guys, by the way.
Hi.
Welcome.
How are you?
Yes.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
having us.
Thank you for coming. You
You're
excited?
good at this.
Oh,
You
so
should
you
have
got-
your own show.
Oh, come on.
I'd watch.
I have not yet. You've had your own show.
I would watch the Kal Penn political show.
Thank you.
too.
Thank you. Well, if you guys promise to be on it, we'll make it a regular thing.
Sounds good.
So something that the three of us have in common that I think the folks at home may or may not know about is that we three got involved in politics in 2008 for the very first time. We're actors. We weren't very political before. Why did you guys get involved, and why are you back here a second time?
Well, growing up, I was sort of aware of the bigger events, going on in our nation's politics, but I never really identified with, the leaders of our country until Barack Obama came along, and then he really made me sit up and pay attention and listen, and I really felt like a lot of his values were things that I identified with, and I felt like he was speaking to a younger generation, like I could fully understand what he was talking about.
Agreed. What about you,
I
Zach?
feel the same way. As for the first time in '08, I felt like there was a politician who was speaking to me and shared the same values and things that I think are really important. And I don't know, he just got me very excited in '08, and I continue to be a big supporter of the president.
Well, thank you. Now, look, a lot of folks I know look at us and they say, well, you guys are actors, but you're also volunteers, and there are tens of thousands, if not millions, of volunteers watching us tonight.
Hi, volunteers.
Say hi. Nice. Now, volunteering made a huge difference. In '08, it expanded the voter base. A lot of new people registered to vote. How did you guys feel being part of that, joining our amazing volunteers and being part of that, and how do we do that again?
Well, the youth vote made a huge difference in 2008. It really got President Obama elected, so it'll really take everybody coming out again this year to get him reelected. But it's been great meeting a lot of the volunteers. Getting to experience some of the work they're doing, all their enthusiasm. High school kids who are registering people to vote, they're not even old enough to vote themselves, but they're out there on weekends setting up tables.
And Obama's can't possibly outspend the Republican Party. They seem to have $1 zillion. So it's really the ground game. It's volunteers like the people watching. It's college kids that might be watching. It's getting out there and getting other people excited like they were in '08 again. It's the ground game.
That's a really good point. And on that ground game tip, I know that you guys both have some interesting stories about when you recently went to Nevada. Is that right for both of you? You registered voters and you had a little booth set up at a university. Is that right?
Yeah, I was set up at the University of Nevada with a booth, and we were trying to register voters, and we found that a lot of people actually just came up to the booth and volunteered to fill out a form. Like, we've been meaning to do this, you know, they were on their way to their first classes of the semester and just needed, you know, to have the opportunity.
I went with Donald Faison, my co-star from Scrubs, and we thought we were going to be doing like photo op, you know, holding a clipboard, looking like we were doing something. They were like, no, you're going door to door, and we were like, okay, and we did it. It was like 900 degrees, and we went door to door and actually registered people, and it was like so exciting. We went down, and I remember one woman was like, I've been meaning to do this, but I keep procrastinating. So we went down and sat at her dining room table and showed her how to fill out the paperwork, and it was thrilling. I felt like we're really a part of something.
So the moral of the story is that you guys are going to go to everybody's house and sit at their dining room table.
Yes,
Yes, that's
right. Yes, if you go to gottavote.com and register, Alexis and I will come to your house and bring you cupcakes.
That's a nice
We
plug.
promise.
Very quickly, how excited are you to be here, and what's been the best part of the convention so far?
For me, it was. I thought it was going to be Michelle Obama's speech, but President Clinton's speech last night was so thrilling. And for those of us who've been watching and get so frustrated when other pundits from the other party say things that you're like, wait a minute, that's not even true at all.
Yeah.
And then the way that he so succinctly took all those apart last night was thrilling. And there's a reason he's such an amazing speaker.
Alexis, what about you?
And Michelle's speech was really so sincere. You know, she was really just talking about her family, her children, the kind of father Barack is to them, and the man she loves so much. It was just incredible to hear.
I love this. So you guys just told stories about voter enthusiasm and how genuine all these folks here are. That's amazing. Thank you for joining us. Can I
I
get
like
a
to think those
fist
people are
bump?
applauding for Alexis and I.
No, they're not. They're applauding for someone on stage.
Don't ruin it for the home audience.
They're applauding for us. Some pretty amazing things have happened since 2008. We have reformed a broken healthcare system. The president brought Osama bin Laden to justice, saved the auto industry. And for the first time since I can remember, and I know my friends here up on screen, it felt like it was cool to be interested in politics. That's actually kind of serious. Getting involved in the Obama campaign has done wonders for me on Twitter. I'm going to be tweeting, as you see I've got my little phone here, through the show tonight. And here's a little tidbit. If I top 1 million followers at Kal Penn, I'm going to give Jim Messina, the campaign manager, a piggyback ride around the arena, for reals. So Mr. Messina, if you want to start making your way up here, the rest of us will take a look at some other great moments from the last 5 years.
I stand before you today to announce my candidacy for President of the United States of America. And standing up with courage, they somehow managed to change the world. Yes, we can.
Barack Obama has won the Iowa caucuses.
You have done what the cynics said we couldn't do.
He's the first candidate we've ever seen who had an organization that brought together the internet and community organizing.
He makes me care, and he makes me want to get up and go and do something with my life.
The next Vice President, Joe Biden.
I move Senator Barack Obama be selected by this convention as the nominee of the Democratic Party for President of the United States.
I accept your nomination for presidency of the United States.
Small-town mayor is sort of like a community organizer, except that you have actual responsibilities.
A fist bump, a pound, a terrorist fist jab?
Fist bump, please.
Oh, yeah. All right.
First shot, straight through. That's how you perform under pressure.
After a hard-fought battle, it all boils down to today.
11 p.m. on the East Coast, and we have news. There will be young children in the White House for the first time since the Kennedy generation.
I, Barack Hussein Obama, do solemnly swear.
And so it began. He faces a severe economic crisis at home and an increasingly dangerous world abroad.
I don't know how passing health care will play politically, but I know it's right. We are going to get this done. We are going to make history.
That's the most persistent fly I've ever seen. Nice.
Now, where were we? I signed this bill for my daughters and all those who will come after us. So in love. We are not a nation that says, don't ask, don't tell. We are a nation that says, out of many, we are one. This is done. The United States has conducted an operation that killed Osama bin Laden, the leader of Al-Qaeda. One of the first decisions that I made as president was to save the U.S. auto industry from collapse. I am sending this Congress a plan called the American Jobs Act. You should pass this jobs plan right away. This is a make or break moment for the middle class and for all those who are fighting to get into the middle class. Welcome home. Welcome home. If you stick with me, we're going to finish what we started in 2008. America, we have come so far. We have seen so much, but there's so much more to do.
Once again, thanks to everyone who's watching tonight. It has been an awesome couple of days. Can you hear the crowd behind me? I have also just buttoned my jacket because I need to be respectable for the next clip that I'm introducing here. We have gotten to hear amazing speeches from so many great people from all walks of life, all over the country. We got a USA chant going on behind me, but it gets better. That's right. Last Wednesday, we got to hang out with Joe Biden. Check it out. How are you, sir?
Hey, welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Vice President.
Thanks for having me. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
Thanks for having me here. Have a seat, please. So we wanted to have a chance to talk to you for the convention live stream folks about some of the things that you've had the chance to do over the last almost 4 years now.
Good.
You've been back on the road a lot.
I have.
The last few months, actually.
Well, as the president will tell you, I enjoy it the most.
Hello, New Hampshire. Hey, guys, how are you?
I like to be on college campuses and high school football fields.
Now, Barack played basketball, but I played football. You know what I mean?
You know, I got criticized by the right-wing press for saying Biden said he'd be prepared to trade his vice presidency for one more high school season. Well, it captured how I feel about these kids. You know, the thing I like best about the job is I like people best. And it's not only makes you feel good, it's necessary. It's just necessary to do the job well.
I would agree, having had the chance to do this now again in 2012 and seeing all the successes that folks have benefited from. But I also like the food. And I assume that you've had the chance to do quite a bit more eating at state fairs and great mom and pop stops along the way around the country. Are any of them, do any of them stick out in your mind?
Well, they all kind of stick out in my mind. Everybody knows I'm an ice cream guy. And I don't think there's an ice cream parlor in any town that I've been in throughout the tens of thousands of miles I've traveled. I haven't hit one time or another.
Here, Roger. Hey, Roger, this is Joe Biden. I'm dying. If we can hustle over, ice cream's on me.
Matter of fact, there's a place that named their chocolate chip ice cream Scoop of Joe. I'm a big chocolate chip guy.
Well, and I need to add this to my list of life accomplishments. You have a flavor named after you.
Yeah, I tell you what, that's a pretty big deal, isn't it?
So people are extremely excited to meet you wherever you go around the country. Who are some of the folks that you've been really excited to meet?
Well, I've traveled over 600,000 miles as vice president, about 10 times into Afghanistan and Iraq. And I got to tell you for real, the people I'm most excited to meet are these kids. We went down to meet the Special Operation Forces in Fort Campbell who actually pulled off the raid and got bin Laden. And to listen to them, as if it's just my job, sir. just my job. We have a lot of obligations. Only one truly sacred obligation: to prepare those we send to war and to care for them and whatever needs they have when they come home. And this president knows it. That's another reason why I love this guy. It just makes me proud. It makes me proud to serve with him.
You guys have developed this great friendship over the last 4 years. What is that like?
You know what it's like? I've watched him. I've watched him under pressure. I've watched him make some of the most difficult decisions I think any president's ever had to make. And I've never once heard him ask before he makes a decision, what are the political consequences for me? And we both made an agreement. We'd not let anything stand between us. And that's why once a week we have lunch together. And the other thing that's brought us closer together is about 20% of the time we do nothing but talk about our families. Jill and Michelle have become friends. His two daughters and two of my granddaughters go to school together. On any given Saturday morning at 9 o'clock in the morning, you'll see Barack, me, Jill, Michelle sitting in a little gymnasium cheering on the basketball team. And Barack ends up coaching. It makes the job not only an honor, but it's a real pleasure.
Well, you've got a lot of supporters watching this right now. What's your message to them?
We need you. We need you more than we did last time. This is the defining moment for the middle class, and we need you badly.
So you're a big internet sensation, obviously first and foremost because you're the vice president.
Yeah, right.
But there are a lot of pictures of you with your aviators on, and people love them. Do you have them on you right now?
Well, I tell you what, I've been wearing these since I've been 17 years old.
Awesome. I have mine.
All right.
So for our friends on the internet.
All right, man.
Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Thanks
man.
for the time, Mr. Vice President. Appreciate it very much.
Thanks for the help.
All right, I clearly had a lot of fun talking to the Vice President, but now it's time for me to chat with the hilarious and talented Aisha Tyler. Thank you for being here.
What's up, Big KP?
Is that what we're doing?
That's what we're
KP?
doing. That's
nice.
where, yeah, I like it.
Thank you. Are you excited to be here?
This night has been incredible. First of all, the Foo Fighters just played.
Yeah.
I literally lost my mind. And then of course they get to say now that they were the opening band for the POTUS. And like, what is more
That's
awesome
pretty
than,
awesome.
Yes, there's the Stones and then there's the POTUS. So great.
It's really good. One of the big reasons I was excited tonight was the First Lady's going to introduce the president.
So exciting.
How amazing was her speech on Tuesday?
She was devastating.
Yeah.
You know, everybody knows that she's a great speaker, but what she did the other night was deliver a passion case for her husband that was both eloquent and articulate and elevated and also incredibly emotional.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? It's hard to be grounded and thinky at the same time, and nobody does both grounded and thinky like the FLOTUS. She was wonderful. I mean, people were crying at the end. I was mainly crying because I felt like I needed to get back in the gym because those arms were like killing me.
Killer arms.
She's got
yeah.
the arms, you know, the beauty, the brains, and the arms.
Did you see the picture of the president with the girls watching?
It was the sweetest. It was so cute. I mean, you just see this family, and it's a family that really loves each other, and
Yeah.
they're so adorable. They're
Yeah.
like the cutest teenagers ever.
I think it's
yeah.
awesome.
And they're like, look, there's mom, and then after this, a little bit of Jonas Brothers.
So-
Do kids even listen to Jonas Brothers anymore? I'm so old.
No, I think they do. I think
Okay,
they do.
good.
So, for folks that don't know, and those of you watching at home, the president is photographed. I think it's the accurate count is 327 million
Right,
times.
just
a day.
paparazzi in the shower, just
everywhere.
leaping out,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, thankfully not in the shower. They'd get tackled by Secret Service. But he's got a press pool and folks that follow him. And I know you're very good at some of the photo captions, so we wanted to pull up a couple of pictures here.
Awesome.
And what do you? And you know, you can tell us
Yeah,
what
we'll
you think
check
is
'em
going
out.
on here. The
Oh,
first one
okay.
is our. Wow, Betty
This
White.
is Betty White,
Yeah.
kicking it with the president.
What's the conversation
With
going on here?
B-Dubs.
Yeah.
Well, Betty's telling the president, look, I just want to thank you so much for your healthcare reform because now my birth control is much more affordable. Thanks for closing up that donut hole. Mama's rocking it out on a Saturday night.
Nice.
Yeah. Betty, she's the best.
She's
the best.
She's awesome. I love her.
She would
And
be the best Secret Service person too. You would never see her
never
coming.
suspect
Never.
it, and
no.
she would just
She'd
own
just
it
come
if
and
she
kung
needed
fu
to.
chop
Yeah,
you.
she would
Yeah.
crush it. All right, what's the next one here?
Oh my God. Okay, this is a pretty much what we learned from this photo is it's never too early to go after the youth vote.
I guess that's true.
But that's actually what that's a reporter for the Adorable Baby News Network who just wants to get a little bit more information about the president's healthcare plan and his economic plans, and just get a little closer to the mic if you could, sir. It's a tiny mic.
Seems to be answering the question honestly.
He is. He's really putting some effort into it, some thought,
Yeah, connecting with the young reporter.
It's adorbs. It's
It is
just the
adorable.
president is adorbs, is what we learned from that
Totally
photo.
agree. This one, I have
so
seen this one.
cute.
I actually like this a lot.
You know, I love their marriage. I think it's such a great example for the rest of us to be doing such a high-pressure job and be so close. And he's actually telling her a joke. I was there. I was lurking right before Betty White gave me the kung fu chop.
Okay.
And what he's telling her is, I heard this great joke, and the punchline is, and the guy's talking to a chair.
Oh.
And then everybody laughs. Except for people who have a sense of humor.
Our first
the original
chair
bit,
joke of the evening.
There'll be more, my
Nice.
friend.
All right, well,
talk to this chair when I get up.
I will.
Yeah,
I will
ask
talk
it some
to.
questions.
Thank you, Aisha Tyler. Thank you for joining us.
It was
I really
a pleasure.
appreciate it.
I'm so happy to be here. Such a joy to be supporting the
Enjoy
campaign.
the rest of the convention.
I
Thank you for your
will.
support. I know the president appreciates it very much. Now, back to the business at hand. Thanks again to everyone who's convening with us tonight from all over the country. Conventions have always been a great way to kick off the home stretch of the general election and bring in some new folks onto the national political stage. If you remember, it was actually in the 2004 convention when Americans took notice of a state senator from Illinois who gave an amazing keynote speech. And as you saw from the embarrassing yellow vest photo that my crew here was nice enough to put up, it was 4 years ago that I saw Barack Obama at the Democratic National Convention in Denver. That night moved so many folks to sign up to volunteer for his first presidential campaign, which actually makes this your linen anniversary, I am told. So here's a look at that journey that led to our first convention together. Since 1832, the members of the Democratic Party have met every 4 years to choose a team of leaders.
I'm asking each of you to be pioneers towards that new frontier.
It's a chance to unite our voices and define our hopes for the next 4 years.
That hope is back in America. We are on the right track.
In 2004, the country heard a new voice when Barack Obama, a senator from Illinois, took the stage for the keynote address.
It is that fundamental belief, I am my brother's keeper, I am my sister's keeper, that makes this country work. It's what allows us to pursue our individual dreams and yet still come together as one American family.
He shared his vision for the country, and we listened.
There is not a liberal America and a conservative America. There is the United States of America. There is not a black America and a white America and Latino America and Asian America. There's the United States of America.
Just 4 years later, history was made when he took the stage again, this time as our nominee.
With profound gratitude and great humility, I accept your nomination for a presidency of the United States. Ours is a promise that says government cannot solve all our problems, but what it should do is that which we cannot do for ourselves. Protect us from harm and provide every child a decent education. Keep our water clean, invest in new schools and new roads and science and technology. That's the promise of America. The idea that we are responsible for ourselves, but that we also rise or fall as one nation. America, we cannot turn back. Not with so much work to be done. We must pledge once more to march into the future. Let us keep that promise, that American promise. And in the words of Scripture, hold firmly, without wavering, to the hope that we confess. Thank you. God bless you. And God bless the United States of America.
Tonight in Charlotte, he'll renew that promise to the nation and make history once more. Welcome back. I've been checking my Twitter feed, getting so much love from you guys, especially all the watch parties at ASU and U of A and NAU. It's awesome. It's awesome to see how many volunteers are joining here. Now, later in the show, we're going to have an exclusive interview with First Lady Michelle Obama, who let me crash the practice run for her speech earlier this week. That was pretty awesome. She set the bar for convention speakers pretty high this Tuesday, as you probably noticed if you're breathing and alive. And I felt really lucky to be her opening act. The First Lady is a woman who somehow finds time to garden in between advocating for veterans and military families, encouraging all of us to eat well and hit the gym, raising her daughters, talking with voters around the country about the issues that really matter, and so much more. And by the way, if I were you, I would not challenge her to an arm wrestling match, as Aisha pointed out earlier. I could go on and on about the First Lady, but here's an interesting video. Let's see what Beyonce has to say.
I wrote a letter to the First Lady because I wanted her to know that I'm very grateful for everything she's doing for our country and also for women around the world. Michelle is the ultimate example of a truly strong African American woman. She is a caring mother, she is a loving wife, while at the same time she is the First Lady. No matter the pressure and the stress of being under the microscope, she's humble, loving, and sincere.
So you brought Dad, this handsome dude?
She builds and nurtures her family, while also looking out for so many millions in so many ways. I'm so in awe of Michelle Obama. Every time I see her, she inspires me, she empowers me, she encourages me to live a healthy lifestyle.
You all ready to do some dancing?
To support our veterans.
When I think of all that you do and all that your families do, I am so proud and so grateful.
Michelle, thank you so much for every single thing that you do for us. And I'm proud to have my daughter grow up in a world where she has people like you to look up to. Love, Beyonce.
Here with me now are some people who I hear from more often than I hear from my best friends and immediate family. Please say hello to Rufus Gifford, Marlon Marshall, and Juliana Smoot, who all send you emails on behalf of President Obama's campaign. They send you a lot of emails on behalf of the campaign. I'm just gonna pause for a moment to let this sink in for everybody watching, that yes, these are friends who are real people. They actually exist. They're not just names in your inbox. And I want to thank all of you for joining
Thank you.
today.
We're just so happy that Beyonce agreed to open for us.
Nice.
Yeah.
Everyone is everyone else's opening act too, which I think is amazing.
That's right, yeah.
All for the president. Rufus, I want to start with you because I hear that you are actually mistaken for Governor Romney sometimes. Is that true?
Yeah, no, it's true. I've been mistaken for him in elevators and Starbucks and everywhere I go. It's actually terrifying because he's 30 years older than me. So I would hope at least it's like the gray hair that this job's given me or something like that. But it's yeah, it actually happens. It's terrifying.
I wanna pull up an email if we can get that on the screen for folks at home. I got an email from you a short time ago that said the subject line was "I know, I know, I know," and I thought it was strange because you open with a line apologizing. You say, I thought to myself, again, Rufus, with the opening line, and I don't know that I thought again, Rufus, when I read that email. Are you feeling guilty about sending these emails? Are you hearing from people that say stop sending so many?
The truth is, so the timestamp on that email is probably like 11:58 on a deadline day, which is probably a Saturday night. So I rarely send emails to my good friends at midnight on a Saturday, but so you feel a little guilty.
I gotcha. Yeah. I gotcha. Now, Marlon, I'm gonna shift to you for a second because I got an email from you a short time ago when I was in LA saying, "Come hang out, come join me in LA. Let's do something this weekend." Immediately, I was very excited because I was like, "Oh, sweet, Marlon's in LA for the weekend." Then I realized that another million people also received the same email. What did you do with those million people? And were people upset that you weren't like going to a movie with them?
Well, I was wondering why you didn't show up, but I appreciate you saying that. No, it was the email for our Obama Classic, which was a fantastic fundraiser that we had, and it was just a good way to get the word out. Emails are really good communication, a way to kind of let the campaign know, let folks who are investing in the campaign know what's going on a daily basis. So just another good chance, and a good chance for me to intertwine some of the things I love, like basketball, into the email.
So that was the basketball fundraiser.
It was the basketball fundraiser.
Thank you for clearing that up.
Yeah,
I was wondering why a million people got the same email I did.
Show up, though.
Juliana, you're a big deal in the campaign as well. Can you tell us a little bit about what you do and what your day's like?
Oh, you're sweet. I am deputy campaign manager, and I basically just oversee Rufus, which is a really tough job. Yeah.
Now, one of my favorite emails and the favorite things that I got in my inbox and then went to go purchase was this email that we're pulling up right now. The subject line was, "In honor of birthers everywhere." And first I thought I got punked, then I thought you guys got punked, and then I realized we were actually selling a mug with the president's birth certificate on it. Is this the long form or short form?
It's actually the long form.
Okay.
Yeah, we could fit the long form on the mug.
On just one mug.
And I was so excited. A group of us thought of doing this at the campaign, and I got my start in retail, in pots and pans and dishware. So this is kind of a continuation, and it's been so much fun. And anytime the birther issue comes up, we sell a lot of mugs. So it's been great.
Well, good. So it's a good fundraiser, and people are having fun with it too.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Have you gotten any emails or response from the birther community on this?
No, I think they haven't learned that if they keep talking about it, it just spikes mug sales through the roof. It's great.
And what do you think, Marlon? Do we have campaign volunteers around the country just drinking coffee out of these mugs while they're making phone calls?
Lots of coffee going on because we work people a lot, because they're out there helping us out. But people love things like that. We make it a little bit unique. They love it.
Awesome. Well, what's one thing that you guys want folks to take away from convention week as they're thinking about maybe texting another $5 or knocking on some doors for us, making some phone calls? What are the stakes here?
Well, I'm from North Carolina, so I'm thrilled to be back in my home state. So I think the energy that we find in North Carolina is going to be great, and I hope it'll continue for the next 2 months.
I mean, as field, it's time to go. We have a great infrastructure right now, ready to continue to build on that and do a lot of voter contact in September and get the vote out for the president.
We got 60 days left. We just need everybody. We need all of you at home. Go online, give us money. We need the resources to win. So you've done amazingly so far, but we need to finish strong the last 60 days.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much for joining us. I'm going to let you get back to sending more emails to people. And enjoy the evening. Thanks for joining us. Now, the folks at home, look, next time you see a message from one of these guys in your inbox, I want you to imagine their faces as you're deciding whether you're going to donate or volunteer or buy another awesome mug. Thank you guys again. I really, really appreciate it. Now, we're coming to you live from just above the stage, which is right behind us here at the Democratic National Convention, where a few hours ago, Mark Anthony opened for President Obama. Let's check that out.
Please welcome Grammy Award winner Mark Anthony to sing the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
As you can see, I have once again buttoned my top button. That means that I'd like to speak with you tonight about an issue that couldn't be more important to this country: time travel. It's becoming pretty clear lately that there are some folks who would like to go back to an era where women's health decisions were made by politicians and insurance companies. I want you to meet a few people who aren't going to go down without a fight.
As a woman, it is important for me to have a president who represents my values and my rights.
It's very important that women have a voice in this election.
Every vote counts. Every voice counts.
Women will help decide this election.
If we understand our power, we can move forward.
I find such a champion in President Obama, and which is why I passionately support him, specifically because I'm a woman.
He also has the story that I can tell my daughter, because it shows that no matter where you start out, you can work hard and you can do whatever you put your mind to.
It's a story that touches me and one that's very familiar to me with how I was raised, you know, and our mom was a single parent. She had spectacular dreams for herself and us girls.
When I hear him speak about his girls, I know that what he's thinking of is not just the future of this country, but the future of all young women.
In the 3.5 years he's been in office, women truly have come first.
Unfortunately, I think in this election, there's a strong contrast between the positions of this president, who believes in women, who trusts women to make responsible decisions, and frankly, the Republican Party leadership, who seems to want to take away the right and put government in between women and their doctors.
I'm a woman, but I don't expect any special treatment for being a woman. What I do expect is the same treatment as a man has.
It feels like we're in a different era. I mean, an era that I have never known in my lifetime, that is challenging and trying to dismantle every gain that women's rights have accomplished over the last 30, 40, 50 years.
I'm really struck that Romney would not commit to whether or not he would have voted to support Lilly Ledbetter Act. I'm struck that he won't commit to supporting the Violence Against Women Act.
It's unbelievable to hear a Republican nominee, Mitt Romney, say, Roe v. Wade, yeah, I would overturn that. Planned Parenthood, no, get rid of it. I mean, with such a cavalier attitude towards our rights.
We could lose some of these rights that I know I, being born in 1960, take for granted. You know, I was brought up with abortion being legal. I was brought up knowing that there was a Planned Parenthood where I could go and get screenings.
How am I supposed to present that to my children, where I say, like, you know, my daughter's going to may, under a Republican administration, have a different set of opportunities and obstacles than my son.
I feel safer knowing that my president understands the value of women's rights.
You can't, I mean, there's no way to say that this is a president who doesn't believe in women and in women's empowerment.
I grew up with a strong, hardworking mom and dad, and 2 brilliant sisters. I learned that from an early age, that when women come together, there's nothing that we can't do.
We will decide this election. Really, it's a question of whether we vote or not. It's that simple.
We've got to get out there. We have to make sure that this man stays in office.
It's not just about supporting the president because I want to see him reelected. I'm standing up for the future of my daughter, the future I want her to see.
President Obama is the only choice to help us move forward.
Here with me now, I have Olivia Wilde, who you may recognize from such amazing work as the video we just watched, and Elizabeth Banks. Thank you both so much for joining us here.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for doing this. Yeah.
Thank you. So, all right, so this video set something up pretty awesomely, which I thought about as we were sitting here. We've had so many amazing women at the DNC the last couple of days. Obviously, Michelle Obama, Elizabeth Warren, Lilly Ledbetter.
Yeah.
How has it been for you guys watching all these speeches?
I'm so proud. I mean, I'm just so thrilled by everyone that they've brought up tonight. I really think also it's a great articulation of President Obama's commitment to women, you know, to invite so many speakers here. Sandra Fluke was here. I know we both love her, and
she blew us away.
She just
it shows that it's a priority for him.
Exactly. You know, that one side wanted to shut that poor woman up, and the other side gave her, as she said, a microphone to amplify her voice. Just incredible.
Awesome. Well, and you sort of pointed this out, it's a policy issue for the president. It's an issue of fairness, and he had 2 young daughters and obviously a beautiful, amazing wife. It's been an issue for him for a while, but it's also no secret that politically women are going to decide this election. And before we sat down, you guys chose a couple of quotes and wanted to sort of have a conversation
based
on these.
We have some favorite tidbits.
So,
just some really great highlights.
What you got?
From the Republican Party, you go first.
You just mentioned Lilly Ledbetter.
Yeah.
So one of my favorite stories is that a Romney aide was asked, does the governor support the Lilly Ledbetter Fair Pay Act? And there were 6 long seconds of silence before he said, we'll get back to you on that.
Yeah, it was great.
That's pretty
Just
scary.
Couldn't
Wow.
figure out whether he wanted to commit to women having equal pay for equal work.
Okay.
That was
Just
a little
couldn't
too
commit.
dangerous for
Yeah,
him.
wasn't sure. Didn't know. We don't know.
Wow. What
Just
else?
needed to get back to us.
What else you got?
Well, look, I love, this is like the quote of all quotes, the highlight quote, if you will, from Todd Aiken, a congressman from Missouri, who said, "It seems to me, from what I understand from doctors, that it's really rare if it's a legitimate rape. The female body has ways of shutting that whole thing down." Now, here's the thing about that quote for me. As an actor, I felt just the delivery was a little off. You know, I really felt like, one, just bad delivery. It just didn't go over
Yeah, I
so
didn't
well.
believe him. I didn't believe
I
it.
didn't believe. Well, no, I believed that he believed what he was saying, which was unfortunate.
Which is scary.
Yeah. But
But the delivery as an actor, you
yeah,
thought.
I felt like he could have done a better job really convincing us that doctors, legitimate doctors, felt that way.
Now you both have. Did you bring another quote? Because I'm going to read you.
No, tell
I'm
us.
gonna
You have
read
a quote?
mine.
Well,
I
you have
actually
a
picked.
quote,
I
okay.
picked one when I knew that we were doing this, and
Yeah.
I actually liked the contrast between our friends on the Republican side and what the president's been talking about and doing in actionable items too. And this quote from him: "We shouldn't have a bunch of politicians, a majority of whom are men, making health decisions on behalf of women."
Wait, say that again?
Who
said that?
The president of the United States, the guy.
Barack Obama.
Barack Obama. Yeah, he was a senator from Illinois. I don't know if you
Sounds
remember.
good.
That sounds very
Yeah?
reasonable
You like
to
that?
me.
Yeah.
That sounds like something I could get behind.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Do you-
Is he running?
He is. Yes, that's
Oh,
why
that's
we're here.
great news.
He's running again.
Oh, that's great news.
He's accepting the nomination
Tonight?
for president tonight. President of the
Are
United
we
States.
the luckiest
Oh, gosh.
ladies or what?
So you can volunteer
Can you
for him
believe it?
That's great.
again if you want to do that.
We can
Yes.
vote for that guy on November 6th.
Done.
Very quickly, I know you've both done quite a bit for the campaign in terms of volunteers, as women, as artists, as average volunteers. Where have you been?
Average, very average.
What's been the most amazing place you've been, or the amazing thing you've had the chance to do?
Most amazing place I went to was Iowa with you, Kal Penn.
So I got to interrupt and give
What
you a huge
happened
shout out. Olivia is
happened
actually
in
the
Iowa?
reason. You tell the story. You were a big reason I got
Kal
involved
Penn and I
the first
went
time.
to our first Obama event together in a basement in Los Angeles in 2007 and agreed to go to Iowa. We're lucky enough to be invited to Iowa, and that was the most amazing trip.
Knocked on doors, made phone calls, spoke to a bunch of young folks. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, speaking to everyday people and sort of getting out the vote. GottaVote.com, can learn how to do it, and that's been the most exciting. And frankly, being here, this is an amazing, the mechanics of our democracy at work, it's freaking amazing here tonight. This place is on fire.
Well, thank you. Thank you both for joining us,
Thank
sharing
you.
those quotes. I enjoyed the fun banter. I think it lightened up a mood and also really highlighted a really big policy distinction between Governor Romney and President Obama. So thank you. Now, on the floor down there, I know you can hear the shouting behind me. People are getting pretty excited. Either, I assume they just released another adorable photo of Barack and the girls watching Michelle's speech, or more likely, we're about to hear from the next President of the United States. I'm going to stay up here, where it's kind of safe, but one intrepid correspondent isn't afraid to get down there and show us what it's really like around the arena tonight. Let's see what's going on.
You look like you're wearing some kind of an official vest. Why is that?
Well, we're visibility. We're working the visibility.
Visibility.
With, like the signs and the distribution to
Signs.
the delegates. Yeah.
Is there good signage here at the convention?
Oh, yeah. There's a lot.
I really respect good signage. You're from Utah? Oh, excellent, excellent, excellent. So are you a delegate or what
I'm not.
brings
My
you here?
husband is.
So how did you become a delegate?
I had her go to all the caucuses and speak for me. So.
Oh, so you're the woman in front of the man.
Pretty much.
Now, you know, I would like to buy some souvenirs. So are all these your goodies? Are they all for you or for...
No, they're for my mom, my sister, my brother, brothers.
What'd you get for your mom?
I got my mother the light blue hat.
Oh, I was thinking it was a little feminine for you. So they said I can go behind here, so... Hi, can I help you?
Yeah, do you have kids' sizes on any of the shirts?
Is your kid this size?
No.
I think this is the best one. I have a very big head. Oh, but this fits good. Oh, hi, ladies.
Hi.
How are you?
Fantastic. I unfortunately am a constituent of Congressman Paul Ryan.
Oh, okay.
So she gets to vote against him twice in November. I only get to vote against him once.
Oh, I got you. Oh, way to go. Bye, folks. Go Obama. All right, high five.
Earlier this week, I caught up with First Lady Michelle Obama to get the inside scoop on her convention experience and the last few months on the campaign trail. So sit back and enjoy these 2 FLOTUS-filled videos.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the First Lady.
It sounds like you all are already fired up and ready to go. I'm feeling pretty fired up and ready to go myself. I really am. There is a reason why we are all here today, because of the vision for this country that we all share. For me, this election is so important, not just because of the progress that we've made, but because I'm thinking about Malia and Sasha and, you know, the kind of people that I want them to be and the kind of country I want them to live in. So I just want to thank you all, because truly the grassroots work that you guys are doing, it's really going to make the difference. I mean, you all are our best advocates. You're a little more unbiased than me to some extent. I can make the case, but I'm still married to the guy. This November, we get to decide. It takes one. That one conversation you have, that one new volunteer you recruit, that could be the one that puts us over the top. One person stepping up and doing their part to move this country forward. One person. So let me ask you one question. Are you all in? Are you rolling up your sleeves kind of in? Are you finding one more person kind of in? Keep knocking on those doors kind of in. Keep registering those voters kind of in. Get it done. We need you. God bless. Hey, Kal Penn.
Hey, Mrs. Obama.
What's happening?
How are you? Good to
You
see you.
know I hug. How have
Nice
you
to
been?
see you. Great. How are you? Good. How does it feel being back here on the stage and at convention?
It's very exciting. I can't believe it's been 3.5 years
Right.
already, but it feels great. It's just as vibrant, just as energized, just as fired up as it was, 3.5 years ago. So I'm excited.
Absolutely. Is there anything in particular this week that you're looking forward to?
I'm excited to hear Clinton's speech and Mayor Castro, because I've worked with him on Let's Move, and he's
Right.
just a wonderful individual and has done great things in San Antonio. And of course, I'm looking forward to my husband's speech.
He doesn't rehearse it for you
No,
beforehand?
I don't even read it because I like to experience it like everybody else. So I'm very anxious to hear it.
In the last couple of months, as you've been going around the country, are there any stories in particular that have stayed with you?
There's so many. I can't tell you how many people come up to me to tell me I wouldn't be alive today if it wasn't for health reform.
Wow.
Or from the same-sex couples or parents of those couples who come up and say thank you for giving my son or daughter a legitimate chance at life. Or the men and women in uniform and their spouses who tell me that they're so grateful that they have someone in the White House who's giving them a voice. And for me, it's always the kids. I mean, the kids who come up and say, I saw you on Disney, I saw you on iCarly, and because of you, I'm now eating my vegetables. That's the stuff that gets me fired up because it shows me that they're listening. So that's always good to see.
When we announced that we were doing this live stream and that you were going to be joining us, Twitter and some of the social media went crazy. So I wrote down some questions.
All right.
The first one is from a woman named Patty in Texas. She says, how do you manage being First Lady, a mom, and an advocate for children and the military?
You know, Patty, people ask me this all the time, but the truth is I have way more help as First Lady than I ever did before I came here. And I also have my mom who's here, Grandma, and it is just, a priceless gift to have your mom there helping keep those girls grounded. I couldn't do it without all the supporters we have, including our volunteers, the people out there in the trenches. They keep us fired up. So whenever I get tired, I usually get energized when I get out on the campaign trail. And that's serious. I mean, I could be tired and dragging, but I get into a rope line and I'm like, yeah, now I know why we're doing this.
Right.
So
the second question is from Laura Lee in Nebraska, and she wanted to know, what's the most important lesson in life that you want to teach to the girls?
Oh my goodness, there's so many. But I try to encourage my girls and all kids out there, don't be afraid to try hard things, don't be afraid to fail. But learn how to get back up and keep moving forward. And that's one of the things that I admire about my husband. And he just doesn't back down from a challenge. And I tell my girls all the time, just when you think you're tired, you know, that's when you're learning. That's when you're growing, really.
That's awesome advice. The next round is the lightning round.
All right.
Before we let you go, favorite snack on the campaign trail?
Popcorn.
Push-ups or sit-ups?
Surprisingly, sit-ups
Where does Bo sleep?
with the girls.
Fruits or vegetables?
Both.
High five or fist bump?
Fist bump.
Harry Potter or the Hunger Games?
Hunger Games. Love the Hunger
Yeah.
Games.
Glee or Modern Family?
Modern Family.
Thank you.
That's
I
my
agree with you
show.
on that.
That's my show.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then lastly, I think I know the
Okay.
answer to this. Barack Obama or Mitt Romney?
Really? Barack Obama,
All right.
without a doubt. Absolutely.
And do you have a last message for the folks at home?
You know, the important thing in this election is to vote. People fought and died for us to exercise this fundamental right. So get out there, vote. Make sure you're registered. Go to gottavote.org. Make sure you know what you need to take to the polls and where they are. And when you go, take somebody else with you. So we'll see you out there. We're going to be working hard. Stay fired up and ready to go. Thanks.
Well, thank you again for joining us.
Thank you, Cal.
Fist bump.
Fist bump.
Enjoy your week here.
All right, you too.
We are just minutes away from an amazing lineup of speakers, including Vice President Joe Biden and, of course, President Barack Obama. It's sort of like the Lollapalooza of the Democratic Party. But first, one of my favorite parts of hitting the campaign trail has been hearing all the different reasons why this election matters to people. Back in 2008, I supported Barack Obama because I had friends serving in Iraq who I wanted to come home, and because I knew too many people who couldn't afford the health care they needed. But now when people ask me why it's so important that we win this thing, I think I'm just going to show them this video.
I support President Obama because he's a man of integrity.
The guy's for the working man, he's for the middle-class American.
He does what he has to do to get things done for the American people. That's why I support President Obama.
The first thing he did when he got into office was the Lilly Ledbetter Fair Pay Act, which grants us a great deal of access when it comes to fighting for equal pay.
He has made it really clear that access to things like birth control is not going to be on the negotiating table.
President Obama made it possible for me to get medical insurance when nobody else would.
Because President Obama signed the Affordable Care Act, I won't go bankrupt, my kids are going to go to college, and I'm going to live.
President Obama's stance on making sure that colleges are affordable is extremely important to make sure that kids know you can also attain these.
President Obama has the students' best interest at heart.
Announcing his support of gay marriage was pretty courageous.
Now that No National Fellow is over, I'm definitely going back in the military.
President Obama kept his promise 100% to get us out of Iraq.
And he's doing the same thing in Afghanistan.
He's given additional benefits to the military and veterans alike.
President Obama has been supporting green businesses like mine.
As a small business owner, he's helped with the tax breaks.
He's put us back to work.
When he helped secure the loans for the auto companies, I think he was helping secure the future of the entire middle class. He bet on us and we came through.
I really applaud him for making that decision.
What President Obama has done for student loan reform,
the middle class,
civil rights,
the Hispanic community,
access to preventive services,
energy,
Wall Street reform.
He's been moving this country forward.
What could he accomplish in 4 more years?
He needs to finish what he has started.
We can't stop here. We have to keep moving. We have to keep pushing forward. We have to do more.
And that is talking to people at the grocery store. That is going door to door. That is working phone banks.
And I'm going to do everything in my power to help him win re-election.
All right, we are just about ready to get things started down there. Thanks for hanging out with us, everyone. Whether you're at a watch party right now at one of our field offices, or if you've got me on mute on your laptop while you watch strange cat videos, in which case you can't hear what I'm saying right now, just be sure to stay tuned for tonight's main event. President Obama is only a couple of minutes away from speaking, and we will be back here after the big speech to hear from Caroline Kennedy, Julian Castro, and Tammy Baldwin. So